All right, fellers and fellettes, welcome back. We are on our way to go get an HA4 Honda. It was supposed to be a tune-up job. I was going to pick it up yesterday. Got to the truck yesterday and ended up being a crank no start. It wasn't getting fuel, so I don't have a winch on the trailer. So what I'm going to do is take this truck over there, maneuver that one around, and pull their truck up on the trailer with this one. So I guess we'll get it loaded, and I'm only using one ramp. So I'm sitting on a 4-inch JMT lift, and we'll just watch it work. Let me see your Subarus and Hondas do that with ease. All right, so I guess we'll get over there, get that truck loaded up, and get it here and start the process of working on it. So enjoy. Well, we got to use both ramps now since we've got a Honda here. We got to load up. Gonna pull it out of here and then strap it to this one and yank it up on the trailer. All right, so we got the truck back here to the house. In order to get this thing unloaded, we're going to try to do a quick diagnosis of the ignition switch. It's a very common issue that these trucks have. If that ignition switch is bad, it's going to cause the relay not to turn on for the fuel pump, or it'll have some weird things going on with it. And that's what's going on with this one, is the fuel pump's not turning on, so causing the crank no start. So Dad's over there is going to bypass the fuel relay and put straight power to it, so it should turn on. So I guess we'll see here in just a few seconds. Well, that didn't work out like we planned. So we're going to get this thing put in the garage and do some more diagnosing. We got the fuel pump to turn on, but it flooded off really quick and we don't think it's getting fire, so maybe it has something to do with that key switch still, but we will figure that out here shortly. Now I got the truck in the garage. We roll started it, but the relay is unplugged, so it's flooded out that much. I can smell the gas, but it's running off of what's in the carburetor right now. The fuel pump is not running, so luckily it ran enough to where we can get it up the driveway and get it in here, and it should run out of gas here pretty shortly, so I guess we'll find out. Well, it's extremely flooded. We put the relay back in. It's running on its own right now, but let me show you something. This is number 3. No, that's number 1. Didn't make a difference in running. I believe it's running on one cylinder, on cylinder 2. Yep. Let's fire it back up. Okay. We got a charging issue with it as well. We don't know if it's an alternator or just a battery. It's getting a little colder out, so it could just be a bad battery. Okay. So I tried number 2, it died. We'll try number 3 here and see if, nope, so it's running on one cylinder. So that could be dead. Well, no, it's not getting fire. So it could be something with the distributor or the coil. No, it had to be the distributor. There's a module inside the distributor. So that could be the firing issue. That might have been why she wanted a tune-up. It was running bad. So I guess we'll start diving a little deeper in, doing some more tests. I'll pull the plugs on it and see how they look, but I think it's going to be something to do inside the distributor, cause it to only fire off of one cylinder. All right, well, I guess we'll get to it. So since we got 2 cylinders down, we're going to do a compression test on it, just to make sure we're not low on compression on 1 and 3. And hopefully it's not a lemon. She said make sure it's not a lemon, so we're going to check. All right, go ahead and wind it over neutral. I like key switch. All right, good. So we're pretty good. We got just north of 180 pounds of compression on cylinder 1, so we know it's not a compression issue within that cylinder. It's more than likely a firing issue. So I guess we'll go through and check 2 and 3 and make sure they're even and go from there, I guess. So
You want to redo it again?
No, it's fine. We'll got to do 2 and 3. So we did a compression check on all 3 cylinders. They all stayed at 180 pounds. They didn't leak down very much at all. So the compression's good in it. We popped off, Dad got under there and popped off the distributor cap, and it was just full of water. That would explain why only number 2 was getting fire, because number 2 is high. If you look in here, number 2 is high inside the cap. So it was probably, I'd say up to here, quite a bit of water in there. So not sure how it got there, but it was there. So we're going to go ahead and change out the distributor cap, put new wires on it, new button, all OEM Honda stuff. So we will get that done, and hopefully it'll fire and run here in the next 30 minutes. So while we're under here, Dad noticed the U-joint to the drive shaft is she's a little wore out. She's a little tired. So we're going to get that pulled out, send it off to the drive shaft shop. They have U-joints in stock for these, and hopefully that's all with that drive shaft. Hopefully the front is okay. Normally they are. Normally it's just the U-joint here. Truck's got 100,000 kilometers on it, so stuff like that is to be expected. All right, enjoy. We'll get this distributor cap put on, new wires, plugs, and see how it runs. All right, so I guess we got it figured out with the crank no start issue. So the distributor, like I said, was full of water. Number 1 and number 3 prongs inside that cap was underwater. And I'd noticed this. You can come around here and look. Your vent, this is a vent tube. It's a hose, allows your vent for, moisture, heat, or whatever to come out of that thing. Well, that was off, and I guess the engine cover was off while it was raining, and water poured down in that hole, filled it up with water, and that was the crank no start issue. So we put new cap, rotor, plugs, and lightning hoses on it. So bumped a key on it and see if it fires. That's how it's supposed to fire. Just bump the key, breathe on that key, and it'll fire. So I don't guess it's a ignition switch problem, although that ignition switch is extremely hard to turn on and off. So we're going to try to lube it up. Hopefully maybe we can save a few dollars for it and not have to replace it, but that might have to be a thing. You go and shut it off. So I guess we will work on that switch up there and try to get it functioning right. And maybe the wrong key, who knows. But anyway, we have the truck running good, so we have to put a tank on it for the reservoir tank and probably bleed the coolant system out on it. I don't know, a few things we got to do. So maybe it might help you out. A few tips, tricks, whatever. Anyway, follow us, give us a subscribe, and we're going to button this video up. Hopefully you enjoyed our little journey we took today, a little 15-minute ride, and got this truck loaded up and brought it over here, and off she runs. So we'll see you guys later.